come into this one fresh off a victory that finally snapped a 6-game losing streak.
And there's nothing like that win that makes everyone happier in the locker room, better on the practice field, and they usually play a whole lot better that next game out as well.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. At a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Throwing on first down. Newman. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
Off the play fake. Newman. And this is Cook with a grab. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
I'm letting you know right now, you better.
Off play action. Newman. And Wilson has it. A good pickup there at 22. On 1st and 10, Newman. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back to throw. Newman. Caught. It's Wilson.
Newman's pass. Complete to Albert Wilson. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 14.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Newman. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Here we go. Here we go. Continue running. Continue running.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards the pick up there, and it's a first down. They'll run on first down. Bell. A gain of 3, second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson now. A screen to Bell. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
You go tight. You got tight.
On third down, here's Bell. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Jackson. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Check 43.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the field there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
On first down, Newman. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Levante David. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Lamb. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Check. Watch 54.
On third down, Jackson dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
How much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Tucker's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Looking to throw. Newman. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Ferguson drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 18. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson there to knock that one away defensively. Eric Kendricks.
Well, already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, it's Bell. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. First connection, Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. The 30, 10, and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Huge play by the defense. Not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 20 yards that time. Jackson steps away. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
51. Let him know. Mike 51.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Got it. 54. Mike 54. Hey, that's good.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lamb. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Vikings deep.